Is it weird to have a work mom? I work with a 59-year-old woman, and she kinda treats me like her son. She regularly gets me lunch. I help her out with tech. We have each other's backs. And she cries to me because our colleagues are ageists. She taught me a lot of new stuff as well. She called me her work son. Is this weird? When you're young, all your friends are around the same age as you. When you enter the workforce, suddenly you have access to friends of all different ages. At first it's weird because you're used to seeing people of a certain age as authority figures, not contemporaries. But soon enough you'll get used to it. And one day you'll be the old guy who is friends with the new guy. It's great that you've found someone at work you connect with. Age doesn't matter anymore. Just that you enjoy working together and like each other as people. You may not always have a job where that's true. So appreciate it now. No, it's not weird. She must really trust you and like you a lot. Just be thankful you have found a nice alliance in the workplace. PPL like that are rare. Nope. I have the same thing. I 26F have a coworker 60F that have our morning coffee talk where we talk about updates in our life. Or cool things that happen to us. Throughout the day we joke, laugh, pull pranks on each other, and even do the Wordle every day. She's honestly the best coworker I could have asked for. She's been at the company 17 years. I have only been at it 1. Her knowledge that she shares with me has made me exceptional at my job. She always says you're so much like my son and daughter combined, loudly crying red heart. Nope. At my summer job at a beach resort during college I had Karen, a Jamaican woman. She was always looking out for me or yelling at me if I came in hungover. I was 20. She made me food and didn't even mention it. She would just put down the plate in front of me and I was expected to eat it. I was a really skinny kid. I would sometimes think, alright, I need to do a good job today because Karen will yell at me if I don't. She was great and very maternal towards me. It's not only normal, it's a wonderful thing. I've been a work mom for several good friends. Not weird. In my 20s worked with a 50-something and she was one of the most intelligent people I've ever worked with. And I worked in finance and then the chemistry industries. I mean, way too smart to be there. She didn't mother me so much as mentor me though. After work we'd hit up the bar next door for a shot or two after a rough day. She gave me the lowdown on so much. Years later we discussed salaries and she was woefully underpaid. Like half of what I was, and she had the pertinent degrees and more licensing than I had. I am convinced it was BC of her age. Rip Carol. I have a 70-something-year-old coworker that treats me like her son. She regularly asks how I'm doing, who I'm seeing, and is just the sweetest thing. I love that she tells me her unfiltered opinion on everything. Makes me smile. Nah, it's common. Not weird. I worked closely with a guy twice my age. He never creeped me out. We shared a lot of random personal stuff. He came to my wedding and we still go to happy hour sometimes just to chop it up. I had a work mom who I was so close to that several people actually thought she was my real mom. I had a work dad too. We were all one happy little family. IDK if it's weird. But it was definitely wonderful. That's just a nice friendship. Not weird. Work moms make life nicer. I'm 60 and have a work mom who's younger than me. She checks on me if I'm out of the office. Fixes my jacket sleeve if I hang it up wrong. Always says be safe when I leave the office. She has 3 grown kids and I think it's just second nature. I kind of love it. As long as both parties consent to it. I had a young girl at work tell me she was going to start calling me mom and I said absolutely not. I told her that I promised myself that the day someone at work calls me mom I'll walk out the door and never return. It makes me feel old when my only intent is to have a respectful adult relationship with a colleague. Not to be turned into some cuddly grandma that a teenager wants to infantilize as the little old lady who gives good advice. I'm not even 50 yet. Lol. I'm glad most people don't find it weird. I'm a fair bit older than some of my workmates, and although usually I'm the one learning from them, I'm starting my career over and it's an average coworker relationship. I do find myself switching to mum mode if they're ever in need of help. On you period and forgot painkillers? I've got some. Mean customer upset you? Come talk to me about it. I get protective of the young people I'm around. As old woman myself, she is lonely, just be her work son. Got 62-year-old work mom who makes me lunch through the week. I did not suggest this, and I am unsure of how to repay this kindness other than giving an occasional token. My time and attention. She is awesome. Not weird I have a work mom. She's like 39? And I'm 20 LMAO. She's been with me through 3 jobs in our small town and major changes. She's kick ass LMAO. Someday you will look back and be thankful for everything she's done for you. Absolutely not. We need more work moms also. If she's been there longer than you, she's seen some shit, knows where the bodies are buried, and how to survive at that company. She has advice to give and you should listen to her. In my experience, no. When I was in my early 20s, I worked with a woman in her 40s. She would do things like take me out to lunch often during work. She was very understanding of what the economy was like at time with working and going to school part-time. I'd cover a shift or so when she needed it, or if she needed help with anything else during work. Having someone like that in your corner can make all the difference in the work environment. Appreciate your work mom. Nope. I often have work moms. As I've gotten older, I've started to slip into work big sister mode. Work moms are awesome. If work wife is normal, how could this be any weirder than that? I've had several work moms. They're great. Just remember, at the end of the day, they are a coworker and not a friend. I'm a 42F and I take care of a lot of young people in office. Not weird at all. Enjoy. We just like keeping you on track. Not weird. My boss refers to herself as the mama bear of our department, and she absolutely is. Working in healthcare for nearly a decade has resulted in me having a lot of Hispanic, Haitian or Filipino work moms. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I would impose great harm on anyone that did them wrong. Not weird. Please treat her the best, she deserves it. So many of my favorite people have been of the older generation's heart. I am 23 and for the last 4 years I've had a work mom and dad. They're both in their 50s and are genuinely some of the nicest people I've ever met working here. Nope. I also have a work mom/mentor. She even vouched for me to start working there after I handed in my application. Sometimes I feel guilty towards my actual mom though, since we have a good relationship. Lol. Nope. I have 2. They call themselves and each other Mom 2 and Mom 3 and sometimes tell me to give my love to Mom 1, my actual mother. No, it's a compliment. Sounds like you two have a great working relationship and friendship. It's not weird. My adult son had a work mom and she was sweet and kind to him. She said he reminded her of her son. She passed away a few years ago and my son still talks about her from time to time. She made an impact on him and was a great influence. Rip Ms. Sharon. The weird thing is calling each other work mom and work son. There's already words for platonic relationships like that, for example, mentor-mentee or simply friend. She's your friend. Nothing weird about that. I have a work grandma, wife and possibly a pet.